Oh my goodness. What was that damage? What's up guys, Pidget here. Almost 1 year passed since the last Path of Exile 1 league, and Secrets of the Atlas is around the corner. Last couple of days I was testing Explosive Concoction Slayer for League Start. This skill is overshadowed by Poison Concoction, Lightning Strike, and maybe we can say Slams as well. So this is why under the radar for many players. Explosive Concoction is an unarmed skill. Throws a bottle that explodes to deal damage. The base damage of this skill is fire, but it can consume your elemental damage flash charges to add damage correspondingly to the flash charge that was consumed. Topaz Flask will add lightning damage, Sapphire Flask will add cold damage, and Ruby Flask will add damage over time multiplier. We will focus on hit based damage and not damage over time. You can choose Slayer, Deadeye, maybe even Trickster. I'm pretty sure it will getting changed, like 90% chance for that one. Slayer is my choice for now, because I've not played that Ascendancy in a very long time. Slayer has access elemental and physical damage reduction through endurance charges, overleach, and improve cooling strike, so our tonkiness is even set without items. This skill is excellent choice for League Start because it requires basically nothing really. My run was done in solo self-found environment and I was not use King's Mark for easy gear or easy currency. The skill based damage is very high and scales very well with the levels. After you getting Topaz or Sapphire Flask, your damage will skyrocketing. My goal was getting both Flask, but sadly I was super unlucky and only Topaz Flask I was able to get. I'm not a speedrunner, but this was one of the fastest campaign time that I ever done. I just want to go over the items and I want to showcase that as well because, you know, I was saying I was doing a solo self-found run. As you can see, I did not able to get like a unique item for leveling or anything. So this is basically absolutely ground items, and you know, I crafted like fire and cold resistance, so very basic stuff. I want to go over the gear quickly, so you can see here I was not, you know, cheating, but also putting the Twitch VOD for this run. So if you're very curious how I was doing in the run, you can easily just click on it and watch it if you want that. You can see here, so the gloves, nothing really interesting, a little life, and basically that's it. So the belt also, belt is kind of okay, right? So it's a very nice item on the League Start, but for example the boots is absolutely, I would say, garbage because it just basically gives movement speed and little resistance, so that's it. The shield is a very nice piece, I would say. So you can see here tons of life, double res, evasion, and energy shield as well. Very nice piece. The helmet is kinda okay once again for intelligence and life. The body armor is nothing really interesting. I was not able to get a better 4-link than this one. And once again guys, I was doing on the 4-link, you can clearly see here. So like Explosive Concoction, Cruelty, and Elemental Damage with attacks, and Greater Volley, as that was all of my links through the acts. The ring has a little, you know, extra odd that flat damage, and the amulet as well, and that's it. But basically this is not improving your damage at all. Let's go over the tree very quickly. So the tree is, I would say, not really that interesting, because if you ever played Poison Concoction Slayer, the tree will be very familiar. Only maybe this part of the tree is a little different, and maybe this one. Any other stuff is I would say almost the same. Maybe you're not allocating obviously the point blank and the precise technique, because this build, by the way, is a non-crit variant, so you don't need to worry about anything. Just your accuracy rating needs to be higher than your life and you good to go. So right now I have 2.3k accuracy rating, and you can see 2.2k life. So technically I set it till a few more levels, or till I getting you know, better gear or something like that. And point blank is absolutely amazing. So I was literally picked up these 2 nodes besides like what was it, 1, 2, 3 levels. So that 3 level, when I was allocated these 2, was absolutely a game changer. I mean, just 40% more attack damage here and 40% more damage here. Absolutely bonkers. And you was seeing it in the footages. The act bosses literally doesn't had a chance against us. So I was very, very surprised. Sometimes I was literally like 4-tapping act boss. That was absolutely insane, guys. So I maybe I could say Explosive Trap was the closest one that was able to do that. And so once again we Slayer, right? So I picked up firstly the Masterful form. After that I picked up the Bean of Legends, picked up Brutal Favor. This is Overleech, right? And for last lab I would pick up the Headsman. I think Masterful form will getting changed or nerfed, so maybe they will removing the maximum frenzy charge from it, but honestly I'm not really sure about this. So obviously the patch notes is very, very close, so keep in mind this one, guys. So that you was seeing here, it's not advice to get start planning around this build or anything. I just showcasing that is an option. Endurance charge and 6 frenzy charge right now. That is very comfortable, by the way, even without capped suppression and having any sort of other damage mitigation. Only one thing I want to mention here is the accuracy rating mastery, guys. This is early on very, very nice feeling, especially because 500 accuracy rating will goes a long way, so you will don't need to worry about the precise technique capping and so on. So yeah, and also the main reason we taking this wheel, guys, because I learned this one from like Tai Killer, the speedrunners that is doing some sort of runs. This wheel is not that strong until you getting this one. Critical strike do not inherit ignite, 100% increase damage with hits against ignited enemies. We igniting pretty often because of this few small notes here. You can see here 50% here, 10%, so 25%, and we throwing 6 projectile per attack, so that is very often up, so it feels very, very nice to have. Now let's talk about little bit about the endgame variant. I mean, not even endgame variant, so this would be, I would call, a normal endgame variant. So with this variant you can just literally farm whatever you want, maybe tier 17 maps as well, but maybe you would need a little bit more investment to that one. But for normal content like normal shaper, maven, uber elder, all of this stuff is very, very achievable, this build. So let's break down the character first, guys. The build is using 3 modded items and 1 crafted mod, okay? And that's it. That is what we doing here. So this is absolutely, I would say achievable even the first few days, like first 2 days, or like maybe first 4 day if you a little bit slower. So the thing is, I decided to go with the lightning coil route because lightning coil will take care your physical damage reduction very, very easily. As you can see here, by the way, we have 90% physical damage reduction with just 6k armor, which is pretty damn good, guys. So on maps you don't have to worry about the physical damage at all, and also you have a little evasion chance because I picked up most of the time evasion based items, and also I not cheated with the like adding to the gloves like more evasion percentage rating. So you can see here it will goes up to like 1k per gear piece, so you can easily, I would say, reach like 14k. Yeah, 14k evasion rating, so that is around like 60% or 70% evasion chance, so that is very, very nice. And you can see here, by the way, or Fizz max hit and Elemental max hit and so on. And by the way, we did not dig here any defensive things here. So technically this is when you taking damage, this is your maximum hit when you taking 900 damage. So the potential will turn on obviously, and you will be very, very tonky. And yeah, so the only reason why I really mentioning this because I seen I would say a build that is had like with around more than 10 divine investment in the league start and literally had like 4k max fix hit. So many people that is falling for that will have a very very bad time for sure. So the tonkiness is set. Now let's talk about the damage. So one really important, guys. So this build is care about the flask charges, right? And this is why we using maximum charge craft on it and maximum charge mod. And you never ever pressing this flask at all. And also, so the problem that I encountered, if a boss fight longer or you don't have flash charges, your damage will look like this. Okay, and so this build has 6 projectiles, so we're dealing like around 5 million DPS or 4 million without the cooling strike, right? So the problem is, if the boss fight is longer, you will run out flash charges. Even if you're using 2 of the same flask, then you will feel bad about this. So for me, if I would start this build, that would be like just my farmer. So not like I want to push to Ubers or anything. Okay, so that is my goal with this. If I would start with that, so this is just a normal farming build, you know, and just completing my void stones, and basically that's it, right? So back to topic. So you know, as I said, I was using the Topaz variant, right? So the Topaz variant, you can see here that much damage we can deal if you have the flash charge for it. And you know, so I planning around Sapphire and Topaz combination. So there is a few reasons for it. So first, this is obviously more damage, but with this combination, you can use Trinity. Because normally, if we go to the calculation tab and just select Topaz Flask, you can see here, lightning and fire damage is not on the same damage range, so the Trinity would not work if you're just using one flask. So when you're just using one flask, I'm advising you to use fire penetration instead of Trinity. But if you're using 2 flask, Sapphire and Topaz, you can now see the damage ranges is so much better. So the lightning and cold damage can resonate with each other. So the Trinity will getting maximum value because you don't need, literally you don't need a triple element resonating at the same time, just only 2. This is how I'm planning this one. So once again, guys, this is very important to keep in this mind. So if you don't using, you know, Sapphire Flask, you using Topaz and you using Fire Penetration. So the 3, guys, the 3 is looks like exactly the same, just as my, you know, League Starter test. So basically, you can see here no Cluster Javel, no Watcher Eye, no unique item besides the Lightning Coil, right? So nothing really big padding goes there. So keep this in mind. So this, I would say, can go higher with cluster setup, obviously, and Watcher Eyes, you know, all of that good stuff. We was going over the 3 on the other one. So only one thing worth to mention, we getting suppression cap, I would say, very easily, because suppression wheel here, suppression here, suppression here, and if you still locking, you can take this 2 node for extra 10%. And the Ascendancy, so once again, guys, Master Full Form, Bane of Legends, Brutal Fervor, and lastly, the Headsman. This is the Ascendancy order, and let's talk about the links, guys. So links, so Explosive Concoction, Elemental Damage, Inspiration, Trinity, or Fire Penetration if you're using just only one, once again, Cruelty, Greater Volley. So on a 4 link, the best one is Explosive Concoction, Elemental Damage, Cruelty, and Greater Volley. This 4 is the best one while you leveling. We're using as movement skill, Sheer Charge, Rage here, Fast Air Attacks, and Momentum. So why we ranking here Rage? So normally we have on the gloves, you know, Rage on hit. when you throwing your flask, you will getting rage. But when you just shield charging around and you hitting a few target, it will keep your rage up. So this is why we have here. Obviously, you can drop this one because that's just the quality of life change. And we using Sniper's Mark, Mark on hit, life tap, and Frost Blink as our instant, travel skill. And the reason life tap is here because you can see here we have very little unreserved mana, and we can attack 2 times before we run out mana. So obviously we leeching mana. We don't need to worry about that, luckily. But the thing is, this will be not enough for the Sniper's Mark, because Sniper's Mark would cost too much. So this is so much more easier, right? And I'm using here Blood Rage because Blood Rage is attack speed once, and also it grants you frenzy charge on kill. So on maps you will getting a little faster, and you're not relying very big time on the 8% chance to gain a frenzy or endurance charge gain on kill. So it's so much better if you just pressing it, because you will not noticing it, right? So you can see here we getting like 200 or less than 200 degen from the Blood Rage, and you overreaching way more than that. And once again, Molten Shell, cost 1 damage taken, and also life tap here as well, because once again the mana issue. And once again, with Molten Shell, this is how it looks like, or maximum hit. So it's very nice, but I'm always unpicking this one. And the auras here, guys. So I'm a really big fan about Arctic Armor from the start, because Arctic Armor grants you freeze immunity. That is one of the most annoying thing, I think, while you running the campaign or in maps or the strongbox mods, when you opening and you freeze and that. So this grants you immunity, and because of that we can drop the Soul of the Brine King, because we can take technically as well the Endless Hunger, right? So we not getting stunned, so stun immunity as well solved, but this needs to be a little bit more development. Haste, obviously, haste is just so nice, and you running faster, attacking faster, and I'm using here Determination for now. But you can see here I was playing with Grace as well, so if you really want, you can get more. You can see here more evasion, so like it's almost 70% evasion, but you will getting less armor, and you would need to change your cost 1 damage taken setup. So I would say it's up to you what you really want. And so I know, guys, normally about leveling, guys. So if you're opening this POB and the other that I linking, it will not containing right now leveling POB, because this is a very sensitive part, because we don't know what is in the patch note. Maybe they deciding they deleting Slayer, or for some weird reason Explosive Concoction, right? So we can't really predict what they will do. So this is why I did not want it to go too much more deeper. This is why we just have a normal endgame variant, not like an uber endgame variant that like my other builds. And there is no notes as well, so sorry about that. Once again, if we getting the patch note, I will starting working on this one, if not getting changed at all. Okay, so this is about the leveling and so on. But also, once again, I want to raise your attention. If you're really curious how you can level up this one, or you want just test by yourself, you can just open up one of the VODs that I putting in the description and just watch a little bit, or just the tree for it, because for instance, I was using this part of I was using this at the start, obviously not like dexterity from the start, and also I was using the graceful assault as well, because this feels so good on on leveling, because you killing pretty often, you getting onslaught, you moving faster, attacking faster, shield charging faster. So that is very nice and feels good as well. So that about the leveling, guys, and I think we covered all of the stuff with this build. So honestly, I need I need to give a shout out, by the way, for Rutu because, and also Jangron as well, because once again, guys, if you played Poison Concoction of Bouncing Slayer, you would say the tree is very, very familiar to that one, right? And for Rutu, because, you know, he was raising the attention on that Explosive Concoction, so he deserved that. So yeah, I just tested it and I came up with my own variant with, you know, lightning coil and evasion variant. So I think that is a little bit more tonkier, and yeah, and also, guys, I'm not using corruption here or anything. So technically, you can get like +2 for the body armor. So this is how it would look like your damage number, right? So like easily 8 million, right? So if you're getting +2 corrupted body armor, for instance. So yeah, that's about this build, guys. So I hope it will not getting nerfed, the Slayer or so on, because honestly, this was a very, very fun, guys, in my opinion. I very, very enjoyed that while I was running it. So I maybe will do another run. So if you really curious how it turns out or how it's working in real time, you can just join to me on twitch.tv/Peugeot2. And also, once again, guys, I will stream daily basis on Twitch. So till, you know, league start, and after league start we going full degen mode to I don't even know how many hours per day, you know, streaming. And obviously I will try to make more videos, but we will see how you know, my endurance holding up. Okay, so that's about this build, guys. So the build is very, very nice. I hope if you're testing it, you will came to the same conclusion. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question or any suggestion for this build or any other build, please leave a comment below, or you can find me twitch.tv/Peugeot2. Thanks for watching. I was Peugeot. See you next time.